Caleb, you guys obviously take 4 points out of this pretty tough 3-game road swing. But knowing now you have a favorable schedule ahead, favorable only means favorable, assuming you can make the most of it. How important is it that you start this off by making the most of this game this weekend?
Yeah, it's important. Obviously, we like the run-in with 3 or 4 at home, and we've been very good at home recently and getting the job done. So that'll be the mindset going into this game. We've approached every game like a cup final. Starting 10 games to go. So mindset doesn't change at all, and we're on to the next game. Obviously, we knew this 3-road stretch was important, and I'm glad we got some points out of that stretch. Wish we would have gotten more. We got greedy at the end there, and we wanted more. And I thought when it was 1-1, we had them on the ropes a bit, and then they pull a rabbit out of the hat and turn the game. And obviously we fell short. But overall, we take 4 points, and that sets up the final stretch, and that was kind of the goal.
You made the decision to start Miller in that game. Vitas was on the bench. Was Vitas totally healthy, ready to go? And if so, can you just talk about that decision?
Yeah, same decision I make in every position. A lot of factors that go into those decisions. Obviously having a banged up, being a bit banged up did factor in, but ultimately went with Roy because when he's played left back, usually we've gotten a result. We've been very good when we've played him there. We played him there 5 games, and we've won 3 and drew 1, and this was the first time we had lost a game with him playing at left back. So, he brings different things in Vitas, brings good balance, brings good defending, brings good air play, set pieces, and he's a good passer as well. So when you're looking at all those things, that was the decision.
And can you just give us an update on Audie and whether he will be playing this weekend or where he's at?
Hasn't been training. We're hoping that he will be back in training Friday, but he's probably doubtful to start the game. We're hoping he can contribute in some way, shape, or form in the match. But he's been out, I think it is 8 or 9 games, so we'll need to work him back in if in fact he's in training on Friday.
And Caleb, can you just talk about Liam? He appeared to make it through the game okay, and just what you need to have him back?
Yeah, we always plan to get him out, around the 75-minute mark. I mean, it's not the way you ideally want to do it with the center half, but we felt, looking big picture, that was a smart thing to do, the right thing to do. And also we were able to get Vitas work back in a little bit. So that was kind of the thought process, and we knew at that stage too we were down, and it made sense to make that move to put Vitas in. I had to take Guzman out as well. That wasn't programmed. Obviously, he had a tight quad, so we had to take him out, which kind of hurt a little bit that last sub, somewhat. But we pushed Darlington a bit higher when we inserted Lawrence, and that was kind of how we helped kind of manage. We had ideally wanted to put in another attacking sub, but Guzman had to come out of the game.
And how is Guzman? Is he?
Hasn't trained yet, but we're hopeful that that'll be fine. But I don't know at this point. We're hoping he's back in training Friday. They're still evaluating him, the doctors.
And just talk about Orlando. I mean, we saw Dom Dwyer get a couple of goals. What do you see them? They're pretty far back, in terms of what their mindset might be coming here too.
Yeah, it seems like I say it every week. They're a good team. They look a lot better than where they sit in the table when you start to analyze the team and the talent that they have. Granted, they got Dom Dwyer recently, so it's not like they've had him all year. But when you look at their team and the talent they have, and throw the table aside, I mean, this is a good team. And they showed that in the last game, scoring 3 goals at Atlanta with that big a crowd. They showed their firepower, and I think with Dwyer and Laren, obviously those two are the key. Those two are very good on the end of crosses. All 3 goals came in that way. I thought Atlanta had the better of it, but every time those guys get a ball in the box, they have a chance to score, and they were clinical. in the 3 goals that they scored. So it's going to be a tough test. Obviously, we need to manage certain things, but they're a talented team, and they have enough, to hurt you. And they showed that versus Atlanta. And look at the last 2 games. They got a good result at DC, and they have to say, overall that's a good result, to draw in that game versus Atlanta. This is, I think, the 4th road game in a row, and they had a tough one versus New England where they lost, I think it was 4-0 prior to the DC game. So this is their 4th game, a road game, and they'll come in with a little bit of confidence, playing in Atlanta in front of a big crowd and getting a good result and scoring 3 goals.
How about for you? You haven't been here in a month. It's gonna feel obviously not strange, but what's gonna feel like? You think walking out there after a month, kind of a long time between home games?
Yeah, it's going to be good, especially knowing that we have 3 of our last 4 here. That gives us a lot of confidence, and we need to bite off each game one at a time. Starting with this one, and then 3 points is going to be the mindset. Every single game, it's been the mindset for the last 10. So nothing changes. I thought in looking at the game, the last game, there were a lot of good things in the game. There were some things we need to change and correct a little bit, or address. But it was a bit better than I thought. First half, when I watched it, first 10 minutes were pretty good. And then after the goal, I thought we were a little bit rattled for 10 minutes or so, and I thought RSL was definitely the better team, and they had a few more chances after that, after the goal. And the goal came from a harmless midfield pass that kind of got behind us, and then it's a 30-yard shot. So in analyzing both their goals, actually, I don't think it was anything that we did wrong other than give the ball away, and other than Savarino scoring a great goal, Rusnak hitting a good ball. But obviously that one I thought was a bit poor. We got a little bit, I think, snake bit on both those goals, and they were opportunistic. But we started well, and we pressed really well to start. The energy was there. But then we conceded, and then I thought they were better, and then we recovered at the end of the half, and definitely second half, I thought we were very good. So there's a lot of positives from the game, even though we lost. And so that for me, not a lot needs to change other than a few little things.